Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be working on a mixed media piece of art of Charlie dressed up as different Marvel Avenger characters on a Galaxy watercolour background. So first of all we have Spider-Man or Spider Charlie, and I drew these onto some Bristol board with my Unipin liner, and I'm colouring them in with my Copic markers and a slight bit of white pencil and gel pen just to add some highlights. And this one is Charlie dressed as Spider-Man, like I said just now, and he is in a bit of a dynamic pose. He's like swinging with his little spider webs, and I really like this one. I tried to go for some dynamic poses in this piece rather than the kind of stiffer versions of Charlie that I've had before, and I think they turned out quite well, and I really like each little one. So next we have Hulk Charlie, and this is probably my favourite one. He's kind of bulging out of his dungarees and top here, and he looks really angry. Someone's just taken away his cheese, and I can just imagine him saying in my head, "Charlie smash." So I came up with the idea for this piece after going to see the Avengers Infinity War, and that film changed me. I am not the same again. I'm still recovering, so I thought it would be a fun idea to do some art to help me recover, a bit of art therapy, and yeah, I thought it would make a good video as well. So now I'm colouring in Captain America, or Captain Amousika, if you like. Sorry, bad puns, probably expect more during this video. And yeah, this is the first Avenger. Captain America was the first Avenger, and yeah, he's a really cool hero. He has a really cool shield, one of the strongest shields in the world, and I wanted to do him in a kind of ready for battle pose with the shield out. So that's what I did. He's a little bit taller as well than the other ones, the Charlie that is, and this was because I kind of copied a reference image of Captain America, and he is quite tall. That's one of his superpowers. When he becomes Captain America, he gets taller, so that's okay, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, I really quite like this one. I like how he looks. I like how Charlie looks ready to throw that shield at someone who's going to take his cheese any moment. So now I'm adding some white polychromos pencil on top to add the shine, especially to the shield, and I use this quite a lot in this piece because it's a little less harsh than white gel pen, and it kind of adds some shine where needed, especially on things like armour, and it's not quite as pigmented as the Prismacolor. It's softer, so it works quite well. So now we have Charlie dressed up as Thor. He is probably my favourite Avenger from the films. He's just really funny, and he is quite epic as well, especially in the later films, but I went for his look in the earlier films. Apart from the long hair, I kept Charlie's hair the same, and I gave him the hammer, and I kind of knelt him down in the ready for battle position like he's just about to pick up the hammer because he's strong, and I really like how his expression turned out on this one. He looks like he's really concentrating and ready to spring into action when he is needed, and I really enjoyed colouring this one. I enjoyed colouring the armour. I used quite a lot of my cool greys, cool grey number 8, cool grey number 4 and cool grey number 5, and for the lighter areas I used my cool grey number 1, although that is running out a little bit, so I need to refill that, and that made it a little bit harder, and again I used the white polychromos pencil. And finally we have Iron Man, or in this case Iron Mouse, and this took me quite a while to work out how to do because Iron Man's suit is quite complicated, and this would have been quite difficult to do in Charlie's style, and I wanted to do a dynamic pose as well like the rest, so I decided to do him in flight mode, and I think this worked out quite well as he looks like he's about to fly towards you, and instead of the normal helmet I drew a mouse helmet, an Iron Mouse helmet, and I think this turned out quite cute, and it's quite simple but quite effective as well, and this is probably my favourite drawing in this piece. So once I'd finished colouring in all of these characters, I cut them out with some scissors. I did this off camera because my cutting skills are not the best and I wanted to fully concentrate, and I left a white rim around the characters, like a small white rim, just because I wanted it to look even more like a comic book style, and I think this worked really well and it made it easier to cut out as well. So you will see that at the end of the video, but for now I am working on the galaxy background, and this was my first attempt at a galaxy background. Okay, I lie, it's my second attempt. I tried one and it didn't work out. I was too impatient and didn't let the layers dry, so this is technically my second attempt, but I don't think it turned out too bad considering it's my second attempt. And I used my De La Rowney watercolour cold press paper, the textured version, and I used some masking tape to mask it down rather than washi tape, because I find that washi tape doesn't really always work as well, it tends to peel up, so I bought some masking tape. And I used my Winsor & Newton Cotman pans to begin with. I used two blue colours, the deep red colour and the darker green colour, and I used quite a lot of water on the earlier layers because I wanted the colours to bleed in together and kind of make it look like a galaxy. And for the darker areas I went out and found a Winsor & Newton Cotman tube of Prussian blue. You know how much I love Prussian blue. If you're new here, I love Prussian blue, and this worked really well for the darker areas because it wasn't black, it was very deep blue and a very spacey blue colour. And I went in with a thinner brush on the later layers. And for the stars, I used a toothbrush and some white acrylic and kind of splattered it. Although this didn't work out too well, it kind of made some lines as well as some dots, but this is fine because I think it looks like shooting stars, and I used the brush to make some of the stars look a little bit bigger. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Katie. I make art videos, I make speed paints like this, and also some challenge videos, and I have other videos all about my little mouse character, Charlie McNeil, the little mouse dressed up as all these Marvel characters. And yeah, he is my own original character, and if you have any ideas of what I could do next with him, whether I could have him dressed up as other characters or some other mice pieces, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your suggestions. And if you're new, do feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell, as I sometimes upload the occasional bonus video on a Sunday. So now I'm just building up the layers of this galaxy with a darker colour, and I'm trying to use less water now to make the areas really dark. And I'm going to leave you with this for a bit. I'm going to leave you with me finishing off this galaxy background, and I'll be back when I attach the characters to it. So to attach the characters to the background, I used some sticky tabs, and you can get these from quite a lot of craft shops. I got mine from the Works. They're about £2, and you get loads in a packet, and they're really good. They're kind of foam type things with peelable edges, and I stuck them to the back of the characters and then peeled them off again and stuck the characters to the galaxy background. And I did different layers. So for example, I used 3 layers of pads on the Hulk, so he is the most brought forward, and I used 2 on Iron Mouse and Thor, and just 1 on Captain America and on Spider Mouse. And I think this worked quite well, as it kind of gave them different levels and it gave it a little bit more depth. And these tabs meant that you can still see the background behind them, so the background wasn't entirely wasted because there's quite a lot of the background covered, and I think it just kind of adds even more to the comic book effect. For Spider-Man and for Captain America, I used just one layer for these. And yeah, I really think this was effective because you get to see some of the background behind as well, not just the background where the characters aren't, and it makes it look 3D. So here are all the little Charlies all cut out, and like I said earlier, I cut out a white line all the way around, kind of to make them pop a little bit, especially against the dark galaxy background. And here I am just finishing off the piece, sticking the pads to the back of the Charlies and to the galaxy background, and just peeling them off and placing them where I want them to be. So here is the final result. I really like how this piece turned out. I really like how the characters look quite comic book and have epic poses, and I really like the background too. And if you like this video, emotionally, please do leave it a like down below, as that really helps me out. And that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye for now.